NFL career. No.
Been their best receiving tight end. Irv Smith, more of the blocker.
So a first down at the 43-yard line. Everett goes the other way. Irv Smith, the other tight end. And he fumbled. The loose ball covered up by the Dolphins. Dwight Collier appeared to be the first to get to it. Irv Smith, in his third year out of Notre Dame, noted as the blocking tight end, although he can catch the ball at 41 receptions last year. Did catch it, did run with it, and put it on the ground.
Unbelievable for this Saints team. They're doing everything right. They get the big kickoff return, moving down the field, a nice play, and then you lay the football on the ground. This is how you end up 0-5. Just the pure strip from behind J.B. Brown. I don't think that Smith ever saw him. But the beat goes on for this New Orleans football team.
Good play by the corner, J.B. Brown, on that strip. And the Dolphins, 1st and 10 from their 30-yard line. The second back coming through, Kirby. And he coughed it up for the second time today. The Saints get it back. Third turnover by Miami. Terry Kirby with the fumble of the early going, which led to that early New Orleans touchdown.
And Terry Kirby really has not been that comfortable running between the tackles. Remember, because of the knee injury, he didn't touch the football between the tackles at all during the course of the preseason. Said he just now is getting comfortable running with the football in a crowd. But this time the strip just coming in back-to-back plays.
Winfred Tubbs, who has had a terrific afternoon, able to recover that fumble. First down at the 30 now for New Orleans. Here's Brown. Derek Brown surging to the 25. Dropped by Tim Bowens, the left defensive tackle.
And so important now for Tom Olivedotti's bunch on defense to come out and make a stand. They get the turnover. There was a drive against them. Emotionally, you're fired up. You go over, you get a glass of water in your hand, and then Kirby runs and drops the ball right back on the ground. Very difficult in this situation to play defense.
Second down and 5 at the 25. Torrance Small is now flanked to the right side. The lone deep back is Derek Brown. Play action. Everett with the time. Everett throwing and underthrew. He had Torrance Small, but was not able to hit him.
Small limping after the play. Great protection up front. There was really, the play was covered initially, but Jim Everett had so much time back there that it gave Small a chance to run all the way through the coverage. Had a play, but Small just unable to get there because of the gimp.
Small a couple of weeks ago able to score on that reverse play against the Philadelphia Eagles. 3 touchdowns in all this season for Small. Third down and 5. You hear the whistles. They blow it dead.
And then it looked like Steve Rim, his replacement at wide receiver.
Off start, number 84, offense. Prior to the snap, still third down.
That was Rim, who usually is a special teams player primarily. Steve Rim, in his second season out of Minnesota, native of Florida.
Played in the Canadian Football League with Saskatchewan, but now they're going the wrong direction and moving dangerously close to being out of Chip Lohmiller's range.
Lohmiller has missed a couple from 47 and from 52. It's a third down and 10 at the Miami 30-yard line. It's Rem 84 in motion. Everett, the sideline pattern, interference call. Singleton on the coverage of Rem.
Automatic first down.
Interference on Chris Singleton.
Such a difficult situation for an outside linebacker to be matched up on a wide receiver.
55, defense, first down.
Singleton on the outside, feeling like rim was getting away from him, so just reaches out and grabs hold. I couldn't really see the hold from that angle, but the official right there. That was third down, remember.
Instead, a first down for the Saints at the Dolphin 25-yard line. That is early in motion. Brown stacked up. And trying to knock the ball away. Marco Coleman made the tackle on Derek Brown. We were talking earlier, looking at this New Orleans record of 0-5. Last week, the bye week. In the previous game, they lose here at the Dome to the Eagles 15-10. One of four very tough losses. The one poor outing suffered by Jim Mora and the Saints. 45-29 defeat to the Giants, but they lose by 2 to San Francisco, 4 in St. Louis, and overtime to Atlanta on that field goal by Morton Anderson, by 5 to the Eagles. Involved here in another close game. Everett throwing for the end zone. Touchdown! Diving catch by Quinn Early.
So now Terry Kirby's 2 fumbles have led to 2 touchdowns for the New Orleans Saints. Because of the rollout, it gave Early time to run all the way across the field, working one-on-one coverage against J.B. Brown, and Early just too fast. He turns on the Jets, runs away. It looked like Vincent might get back into the play, but Jim Everett just dropped it in the bucket.
5th catch of the game for 79 yards and a touchdown for Early, his 3rd TD of the season. Lohmiller, once again hits the upright. What is going on? And you can hear the reaction. So the Saints with a 19-10 lead will be back in a moment. Well, as Chip Lohmiller teed it up, getting set to kick it off, still hearing it from the crowd. Just 2 field goals and an extra point, second extra point that he's missed this season. The kickoff taken by McDuffie. Oh, he took a shot reaching out to the 20-yard line. Tyrone Leggett getting downfield with a hard hit on O.J. McDuffie.
A couple of things to watch here. There will be no help in the middle of the field for J.B. Brown. The nice job that they do walling off the protection over here. They come with the blitz, the Miami Dolphins do, and really the perfect situation. Everett rolls out, no help in the secondary, and J.B. Brown beaten for the touchdown.
Kosar and the Dolphins starting out first down at the 19-yard line. Kosar for the injured Dan Marino. Saints with a 19-10 lead. 4 minutes gone by. Third quarter. Kosar able to step under and has an open man, but Clark could not reach for it. Gary Clark, the master of diving catches, but that one just out of his reach. He was covered by the left corner, Jimmy Spencer.
Wow, this looked like it was going to be a huge play again. Watch Bernie look off the safety in the middle of the field and then sling this thing out to the sideline. It looked like it even had a chance to go the distance, and literally by just a couple of inches from being a huge play. Bernie has been sharp, but he's also missed a couple of key situations.
And this New Orleans Saints team has been hurt by big plays over their first 5 games this season. Second down and 10 from the 19-yard line. Kosar incomplete. Intended again for Clark, this time over the middle where he was covered by the outside linebacker Richard Harvey.
And it's really making a big difference for this Saint team to have all these linebackers back in the place where they were intended to be. Getting Winfred Tubbs back in the middle allowed Richard Harvey to go back to the outside linebacker. Harvey did not work out playing the middle linebacker. Neither did Brian Jones on this team. But now they seem much more settled, and we saw it last time against Philadelphia, and they picked up right where they left off in that game.
Look back to the big days of the Saints several years ago. You think of that linebacking group.
Exactly right.
Pat Swilling, Sam Mills, and Ricky Jackson and Vaughn Johnson. Kosar completing to Parmalee. Trying to battle his way to the marker, but he's short of the first down. Eric Allen Sean Lumpkin combining to make the stop.
And this is what the Saint defense has not done all season. Go 3 and out. Get that offense off the field. And Sean Lumpkin that time made a huge hit at the end of that play. Just as it looked like they were going to fall forward for the first down, Lumpkin came in and drove the receiver back and kept him from that first down.
A yard and a half short of the first down, so John Kidd will punt second punt of the day with Tyrone Hughes back. And the Dolphins all over Hughes, not allowing anything. 47-yard punt. Sean Hill, the first to get to Hughes with 10 minutes left in this third quarter. We'll be right back.
Brian Cox made the point this week that if we're as good as everyone has said we are, we should be able to win without Dan Marino, especially against an 0-5 team. That would be true.
Last week, Dan Marino becoming the NFL's all-time leader in pass completions. Recovering from the arthroscopic surgery on his right knee, also bothered by the sore left hip. And working the sidelines. New Orleans first down from their 26-yard line. 5 minutes gone by in the third, and the Saints leading by 9 points. Lorenzo Neal getting the call, refusing to go down. Looked like the ball was knocked free. Miami claiming that Neal was stripped. And they're checking it out as to who has the football.
Looked like Trace Armstrong just reached in there and got in a wrestling match with Lorenzo Neal, and the officials haven't made any sort of a signal yet. They may well give this thing, and they have, to the Miami Dolphins. I'm telling you, Trace Armstrong just reached in there. There wasn't a fumble on the play. Trace Armstrong just reached in there and just yanked it out. The question then becomes, was the forward progress stopped before that all started? And I think that's fairly close to being true. But Trace Armstrong just out-muscled Lorenzo Neal for the football.
Second turnover committed by New Orleans. Trace Armstrong, who last week re-injured his right knee. He's been playing very well for the Miami Dolphins, coming over from the Chicago Bears. So the Dolphins get it back. First down at the New Orleans 25-yard line. Change of direction by Irving Spikes. Handling for the first time. Stopped by Robert Pig Goff.
And Marv, the big question, was his forward progress stopped on the play? Because if it were, then it doesn't matter what happened as far as getting the ball yanked out. Watch Lorenzo Neal and see if he's stopped on the play. I guess the argument is he was still leaning and pushing forward. Very, very close to having that one blown dead.
Second down and 11. Kosar with a bullet pass for a first down, connecting with Spikes, who came out of the backfield, taken down by Ernest Dixon. That's good for 12. And a first down for Miami inside the 15.
And now the pressure really on Bernie Kosar. He steps up, makes a nice throw here. The pressure's starting to get close. This is a team that came into the ball game with 21 sacks, second only to the Cincinnati Bengals. But Bernie Kosar has been here before. His biggest relief role, of course, with the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC Championship game. Played most of the second half there and performed very well, throwing a touchdown pass in that one to Alvin Harper.
Spikes. So Don Shula has staying away from Terry Kirby, who's coughed it up twice. He had this problem earlier in the year with Bernie Parmalee, and now going to Irving Spikes, who was stopped by Winfred Tubbs, who's piling up the tackle numbers. Winfred Tubbs, the middle linebacker in his second year out of Texas. Is Dan Marino wearing those shorts for medical purposes? Something to do with the injured hip? Or is that just a choice of his?
No, I think he's convalescent.
Very nice. Second down and 8. motion. Off the pitch. Spikes. Trying to get outside, but pulled down by Richard Harvey.
And Mark, there you have the story of this ball game. The Miami Dolphins, who are taking so much pride in their improved running game, and they had a great game running the ball last week against the Colts, 148 yards, but they cannot get it going against this defense, which ranks 28th in the NFL. They've been giving up 160 yards a game, but the Miami Dolphins cannot run the football on this bunch. And finally, Kirby being given a chance to get back in.
How about this number, Chris? 15 carries, 17 yards.
Amazing.
Averaging slightly over 1 yard per carry. Third down and 7. Kosar, touchdown! O.J. McDuffie from Bernie Kosar. A 12-yard pass play.
What a gutsy drive there by the Dolphins, by Bernie Kosar. After the Saints go down and score a touchdown, they come right back and match it. And there's the man, Lorenzo Neal. Very, very close on that fumble call, but no question it's given the Dolphins a chance.
So the 12-yard touchdown pass play on a 3rd and 7 call. And here is Stoyanovich. The Saints with a 19-17 lead on the Dolphins. 6:43 to go in this 3rd quarter. O.J. McDuffie having an excellent afternoon.
It ain't cheating if you get away with it. What's the pick right here? As Gary Clark runs into Vince Buck, O.J. McDuffie follows right behind him for the touchdown. Brian Cox starting to feel it a little bit now. That was a big drive, a big score for Bernie Kosar to get a little confidence going with his teammates.
And for O.J. McDuffie's 2nd touchdown catch of the season, Kosar 18 of 24, 227 yards. Here's Tyrone Hughes with the return. Looking across the 25-yard line. Robert Wilson on the stop. We'll be right back.
These two head coaches have been with their respective football teams longer than any other active coaches right now. Of course, Don Shula far in the lead, but for Jim Mora, this becomes an important ball game. They've got the lead in this one against a good team in the Miami Dolphins. There's already been some speculation about his job and whether or not he would be retained and all that goes with it. There was speculation earlier in the week that he had met with the owner concerning his situation. Mora denied that. But certainly the people are beginning to talk in New Orleans.
Shula with the Dolphins 381 games, more 148 games. 6.5 left, 3rd quarter. Everett in trouble, facing the pressure and handling it well. Able to complete for the tight end, Irv Smith. Held short of the 1st down by Hollier and Oliver. Lewis Oliver has taken over at strong safety for Michael Stewart, who was shaken up earlier. It appeared that he was all right, but the Dolphins staying with the usual backup, Oliver.
You know, Louis Oliver came for big money to the Cincinnati Bengals, and he was cut. He had a lot of injury problems. He couldn't get back on the field, but now he's back here, and he hasn't been very happy with his playing time. He thinks he deserves to play more, and now because of whatever reason, Michael Stewart unable to go, Louis Oliver in there.
2nd down and 2, and it's back to the ground. Mario Bates making his return and hit for a loss by Lewis Oliver. Bates got off to the quick start, sprained his ankle. We have not seen him since the 1st quarter. Jim Mora giving it a go, and Bates is hit for the loss.
And Louis Oliver just coming up from that strong safety position. There's really no one to challenge him on the outside, and they just leave him alone. Going to come up here and make the hit. Like the wide receiver was trying to get a crackback, Michael Haynes, and when he missed, there was no one there to pick him up.
Eric Brown back in the backfield for this 3rd down and 3. Everett incomplete.
And again, Louis Oliver with 3 straight plays.
That intended for Wesley Walls, who took the hit from Oliver.
You know, Louis Oliver was concerned considered to be one of the better safeties in the game. Remember the play he made in Buffalo, the 103-yard interception return, and went for big money, signed with the Bengals, and then was sort of just discarded and was considered secondhand goods, and now proving valuable once again for Don Shula.
Second punt for Wilmsmeyer. First time the Saints have gone 3 and out. Just did get it off. Chased by McDuffie and muffs it. The Saints have covered up. A twister that McDuffie was trying to follow across the field. Probably should have let it go. And Vince Buck, the free safety, made the recovery.
O.J. McDuffie trying to make the great play, prevent the roll, prevent his offense from being backed up. Just slips right through, and that is a tremendous effort on the recovery, that time by Vince Buck, to be able to pick that thing up cleanly before he got out of bounds. You have to give McDuffie credit for trying, but should have let it go.
Miami with memories of Vince Buck, who scored a touchdown in the Saints' last meeting against Miami on a 34-yard interception. The only touchdown of his career. Comes up with a big play right here. 1st and 10 as Everett looks downfield and throws for the end zone. Michael Haynes on a 22-yard touchdown pass play. Second touchdown of the game for Haynes. He beats Troy Vincent in the end zone.
For that team, he is capable.
Still no word on the injury suffered by Kosar, who was 18 for 24. 2 touchdowns, but Myers hammered down. Ronaldo Turnbull picking up the sack, his 6th of the season.
Turnbull just absolutely blows right by Ron Heller. Doesn't even slow him down a little bit. And for the Miami Dolphins, very fortunate indeed. That wasn't yet another turnover. I don't know how McGuire held on to that football.
First sack of the day for the Dolphins, who coming into this afternoon's play were number 1 in the NFC in sacks. Vince Buck making the fair catch. Tyrone Hughes back in the locker room suffering a neck sprain, and they are x-raying Tyrone Hughes. 41-yard punt by Kidd. 3:26 to go in this third quarter. The Saints now lead the Dolphins 26-17. A reminder, next Saturday, 2:30 Eastern, Notre Dame football back here on NBC Sports. Fighting Irish renewing their longtime rivalry with the Trojans of USC, presented by Champion. University of Southern California, Notre Dame, next Saturday right here. First down at midfield. 85 Walls, the tight end in motion. Everett again hanging in the pocket and throwing deep. And incomplete, intended for Quinn Early, covered by J.B. Brown.
And it's good to see the New Orleans Saints coming out and still firing. This is a team, they don't want to be conservative. It's so often teams that have not won, have been in this position, will go conservative. There you get a look at Ronaldo Turnbull, and certainly a nice story there. A guy that grew up in the Virgin Islands and, of course, Hurricane Maryland.
20-12, the Panthers lead the New York Jets under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter, Marv.
It is a very long season for the New York Jets, who have taken on the look of an expansion plan.
Not quite that good. No. That's an expansion team they're playing.
All right, Everett avoiding the blitz. Oh, what a catch. Another New Orleans first down. Turns small. Beating the coverage of Terrell Buckley, picking up 16.
Jim Everett doing a nice job hanging in there under pressure again. Trace Armstrong coming. Really, Everett bailed a little soon. But I don't think there's any question. The game plan now when you play against the Miami Dolphins is you want to take your chances with your third wide receiver against Terrell Buckley. The jury is definitely still out on Terrell. The Packers gave up on him after making him the #1 pick. The teams are picking on Terrell Buckley.
First down at the 16-yard line. Bates slashing his way. Klingbeil there to make the stop. Everett is 16 of 23, 215 yards. He has had a very strong day, although still bothered by the sprained ankle. Third quarter, running down.
You know, Marv, a touchdown here makes this a 16-point ball game and very difficult for the Miami Dolphins.
So that is the end of the third quarter. Saints up 26-17. We'll return after these messages from your local station. Very popular figure here in New Orleans, former quarterback of the Saints for some 10 years now, radio color commentator for the New Orleans Saints, Archie Manning, who watching the Saints recently said, I got to get out of here. I'm having flashbacks. He played on that 1980 team that went 1 up and 15 down. All right, Jim Everett getting his fourth quarter underway, able to connect to the tight end, Irv Smith, stopped by Brian Cox. Third catch for Smith, but a short pickup.
And Brian Cox trying to read Everett's eyes and just chasing the play. Just such a tough physical player. Their best outside pass rusher in the nickel, really brings the heat off the corner, can play the run so well. Super football player, an emotional guy out there. And they need a little emotion right now. They cannot let the Saints in the end zone.
Third down and 5, ninth play of the drive. Saints leading 26-17. Everett taking the long look, throwing, and broken up almost. Intercepted by Terrell Buckley. The pass intended for Terrence Small.
Once again, going after Terrell Buckley, and he had a chance to make a huge difference for his football team here. In good position, the best coverage we've seen by him today. And boy, that hurts. That's a big, big play in the ball game to turn it back over to your offense. Just down 9 points.
And a 29-yard field goal attempt for Chip Lohmiller, who has had a very long day. Missed an extra point, missed 2 field goals, 2 long-range shots from 47 and 52, and this one is no good. He missed from 29. And we're talking no elements involved here. We're indoors, folks, in the dome. Well, here in the French Quarter, the locals say it's never too early, never too late. Saints hoping that it's not too late to salvage their season. As you look at Bernie Kosar, who is making his return, sat out the last series after jamming his thumb. Dan McGuire came on. Miami trailing 26-17, opening minute of play in the fourth quarter. And the Dolphins start out from their 20-yard line. Kosar picked off. Already. It's knocked away. Byers, the intended receiver, Ernest Dixon, on the interception, was stripped, but the ball carried out of bounds, and the Saints take over.
Bernie, with pressure in his face, tried to get it up over the top of Ronaldo Turnbull. The ball sailed as it did earlier on that prior interception and right into the hands of Ernest Dixon. And the Saints using up all their luck in this one as the ball fumbled, but rolls right out of bounds. Maybe this finally will be the day for Jim Mora and the Saints.
2 interceptions, 3 fumbles by the Dolphins for their 5 turnovers. And New Orleans first down at the 11-yard line. That is Neal in motion. Bates trying to get something going. Picked up about a half yard on the play. Bernie Kosar, just a week and a half ago, was contemplating surgery on his finger, not the thumb that he injured today. And it was thought, what with Dan Marino's status, that they would wait. And fortunately they did. Bernie Kosar with a very strong first half, but things turning here in the second half.
And Marv, you have to wonder how much that thumb played a factor in that throw, and you wonder whether or not they will trust him now back on the field if he's unable to pick the football.
Second and about 9. Bates to the middle of the line, and he's stopped. And again, you can hear the reaction from the crowd. Ryan Cox celebrating the tackle as he got the grips on Mario Bates.
And because of the missed field goal now by Chip Lohmiller the prior possession, now if the Dolphins defense can come out here, at least hold them to a field goal opportunity, which is what you have to call them with the way Lohmiller's kicking today, could be a key moment now for this Miami defense. If they can just give up 3 here, they keep their team very much in the ballgame.
It's a 3rd down and 9. Quinn Early is to the left, Torrance Small to the right, and a timeout being taken by Jim Everett. Took a look at the Miami defense and decided he'd like to talk it over with 12:37 left in the 4th. Smith, the tight end, able to get behind the linebacker, Dwight Collier. So the Saints extend to a 32-17 lead, and I would think a sigh of relief for Lohmiller, who did not want to come on to attempt another field goal.
Didn't have to make a kick. Now he has a nice short one. See Irv Smith just turning around in the back of the end zone, and Dwight Collier tried to get there but got there late. After the play, Brian Cox went after the referee, and he's still after the referee. Not exactly sure why he's so upset, but immediately after the play, and he's not even going to wear his helmet for this extra point.
And Chip Lohmiller was hearing the boos from the crowd, able to put it through. 12 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. Saints 33, Dolphins 17.
Houston Rockets pulled off the improbable, a second NBA title back-to-back. Now, Clyde the Glide Drexler leads the 2-time defending world champion Rockets as they blast off to London to face Europe's best. The McDonald's Championship, next Saturday at 12 noon Eastern on NBC.
Brian Cox claiming there was a pick on the play, and that's what enabled Irv Smith to get open. You can see Cox immediately after the play begin pointing and go right after the referee.
First touchdown catch of the season for Irv Smith. O.J. McDuffie on the return. And dropped across the 15-yard line. The Saints try to get to the ball. 18-yard return. Again, J.J. McCleskey making the stop.
Obviously, the celebration after the play for the Saints is they are now beginning to believe that they might just finally win a ball game. And for Brian Cox, this has been a miserable afternoon.
And for Miami defensive coordinator Tom Olivadotti, not a pleasant way to spend a Sunday afternoon. The last 3 games, the Dolphins now have allowed 10 touchdown passes.
16-point deficit now because of the 2-point conversion rule. They do have a chance on 2 touchdowns.
Kosar able to rifle it. McDuffie circling his way. And he is down at the 25-yard line.
It was interesting talking to Winfred Tubbs, the middle linebacker. He said, I wish Marino were playing in this one. I don't want the Dolphins to have any excuses at all.
Do you believe that?
No. Just thought I'd throw it in there.
Very nice, Chris. Second down and 1 out of the shotgun. Kosar has a first down, combining with Kirby. Rough day for Terry Kirby. He's played so well, but fumbled twice, both times. The turnovers leading to New Orleans touchdowns. Winfred Tubbs made the stop. And a player is down. Richard Harvey, weak side linebacker, is hurt. Richard Harvey's signed as a free agent from Denver, has played well. He's been bothered by a pulled hamstring coming in. 11:02 to go in this 4th quarter. The Saints now lead 33-17. 17. Looking ahead to our schedule next week. NFL doubleheader here on NBC. In the second half of the twin bill, most of you will see Kansas City at Denver. The Chiefs winning today against New England. What an ending, though, this past Monday night against San Diego in overtime. Chiefs win it on this 86-yard punt return by Tamarick Vanover. So that wrapped things up for Kansas City.
I guess we could say he was a bit of a blur on that play.
Yes, you can. Kansas City Chiefs going to a record of 6-1. Richard Harvey headed to the sidelines. Had a good one today. 9 tackles for Harvey.
No, this has been the most bizarre game, though. By quarter, Miami Dolphins rushing game. In the first quarter, 12 yards. The second quarter, 4 yards. And the third quarter, -1 yards. Cannot get it going on the ground.
And appear at times to have abandoned the run.
Oh, well, wouldn't you?
Well, you still like to try to set up the pass, but McDuffie on the catch. Short pickup. About 5 on the play.
And Mark, that snap surprised Bernie Kosar, and I think it hit him in his bad thumb. Or now he's working on his fingers, so now he's got a sore thumb and he's got bad fingers too.
Second down and 5. Kosar able to step it up and throws deep downfield. Broken up. Mike Williams covered by Eric Allen, and a flag is thrown. And Eric Allen pleading his case. It will be an interference on the right corner, number 21, Eric Allen.
And Eric Allen, this was pretty close. Mike Williams gave Eric Allen a bit of a push at the tail end of this play as well. They're going back and forth, but defensively, if you don't get that head around, you will not get the benefit of the doubt.
Apparently another flag thrown.
The 69 offense, they'll offset.
Oh,
well, Saints very fortunate offsetting penalties. Penalty against the Miami Dolphins.
It going against Keith Sims, the left guard, and Keith Sims has not practiced all week because of an aggravated toe injury, but that was a play that could have put the Dolphins back in. Now, he's walking off now.
And they're in the hurry-up, wasting no time to punch it in. Bernie Kosar on the quarterback sneak.
Now the decision whether or not to go for 2. I think you absolutely go for 2 here.
And they are going for the 2-point conversion, which would cut it into an 8-point deficit. And if they score again, they go for the 2 and you have a tie game.
That's right, and you can see the Saints defense just absolutely dragging right now. They were just standing flat-footed. You can see them taking their helmets off now, kneeling down in the back of the end zone. They're exhausted after that drive. Well, that looked like the Bernie Kosar of old as you look at the guys sucking eggs, as they call it in the league. But for Bernie Kosar, he looked like back in his days with the Cleveland Browns and throwing to Ozzie Newsome and company there.
There's Dan Marino lending a hand. Bernie Kosar has been so helpful to Marino working the sidelines. Bernie coming up with a couple of key play call suggestions. Chris, you'll recall last year he had suggested that fake spike play to beat the Jets. Right. And this season he suggested the fade out, the route leading to a touchdown pass to O.J. McDuffie against the Bengals.
That's exactly right. So now it's one of those, what other bright ideas do you have? He needs one for himself right here, because it makes it, if they don't make this, it's a 2-possession game for the Dolphins. They would need 2 scores in order to get back in it. And the Saints, really, they're just now coming back from the timeout and still sort of dragging around, but this is a big, big play in the ball game.
Plenty of time remaining, though. 8 minutes and 5 seconds. be the stop. So it is a 10-point New Orleans lead.
Kosar saw his two best offensive linemen uncovered. A soft bubble situation over Sims and Webb. He made the audible, but really it was just a matter of Robert Pig Goff overpowering Tim Ruddy and making the play.
Line drive kickoff from Stoyanovich, played by Hughes. Tyrone Hughes. Back at the 23-yard line by Frankie Smith. So that is where New Orleans will start out. An NBC comedy doubleheader coming your way tonight. One of NBC's newest comedy hits, The Single Guy, followed by News Radio, starring Phil Hartman. That'll be tonight after the League Championship Series right here on NBC. Viewers on the West Coast, check your local listings. Just under 8 minutes left in this fourth quarter. And the Saints with a 33-23 lead on the Dolphins. Started out as the draw, and Brown tried to go outside, picked up the yard on the play. White Collier on the stop. It's a game that has seen Miami turn it over 5 times, 3 fumbles, 2 interceptions by Bernie Kosar, although Kosar has played well. 25 of 34, 310 yards. Only 16 yards on the ground for Miami. That is the surprise against the team that is right at the bottom in terms of defending against the rush. Second down and 8. And Brown is stopped. And you can hear the reaction from the crowd. Chuck Klingbeil got the grips on Derek Brown.
And right now the New Orleans Saints falling into that trap a little bit. Anytime you get the lead, there's Carl Smith, the offensive coordinator. You want to be conservative. You want to run some clock, and certainly with the 10-point lead. But as the Dolphins learned a week ago, there's a lot of things can happen in 6+ minutes in the NFL.
It's a third down and 8 at the 26-yard line. 6.5 remaining in the fourth. Everett facing some pressure. The ball's tipped, so it's broken up. Jeff Cross got a piece of it. And it's 3 and out for the Saints.
You know the Dolphins are going to be playing the run on the first 2 downs. You try and come back on 3rd down when the Dolphins get their nickel situation in there. Very, very conservative with the play call in that series.
And here is Klaus Wilmsmeyer, one-time San Francisco 49er, who did not get much of an opportunity to punt with the 49ers in his 4th year out of Louisville. O.J. McDuffie is back. Wilmsmeyer is awaiting the snap at his 10-yard line. And just did get it off. But there was contact, and a flag is down. Sean Hill, who has been guilty on a number of occasions this season. He's been hit by 5 penalties. It was Hill rushing the punter. And Wilmsmeyer is shaken up.
And Hill just missed. They had the all-out rush coming on the punt, and Hill breaks free right up the middle. He's their special team MVP right at the punter and runs right into him. No question about it. The Dolphins were coming out and claiming that the ball was tipped by Sean Hill, but I don't believe that any contact was made on the football. Very close. You're Sean Hill, you've got the all-out rush, and that's the dangerous part about that rush right up the gut when you're trying to go after the punter, because if you miss, more often than not, you get the penalty. And that really is going to take the steam out of this Dolphin team. They had the football back in good field position, and now the ball goes back to the Saints.
Klaus Wilmsmeyer, one of the Saints' heroes today. Remember that early 20-yard pass connecting with Anthony Newman on a fake punt. And as you mentioned, Saints maintain possession. They have it at their 41-yard line. So Jim Everett and the offensive unit back on the field. Everett has thrown 4 touchdown passes. The Saints record 6 by Billy Kilmer back in November of '69. Everett going to the out pattern for Quinn Early. J.B. Brown on the stop. Early 6th catch of the day. And it's a pickup of 5. A second down and 5.
And you know, the special teams have been somewhat less than special today for the Miami Dolphins. O.J. McDuffie with the fumbled punt, the muff punt, and now the roughing the kicker foul when really the momentum was on the side of the Miami Dolphins. Your offense had just gone the length of the field. Defense make the play, and then the special teams turn it right back over.
Here's Brown. Again trying to get to the outside, but he's cut off. Willis Oliver, Dwight Collier combining to make the stop on Derek Brown.
And for the Dolphins defense and Tom Olivadotti, this may well be the play of the ball game. You get another 3rd down situation. 3rd down and about 7 now. As the clock ticking down towards 5 minutes. Remember, you need two scores in order to win here, or at least tie the ball game.
Line up for this 3rd and 7. Incomplete. Crowd looking for an interference on Oliver, who made the contact with the intended receiver, Michael Haynes.
Boy, and Louis Oliver has just played a terrific football game. He has an amazing sense of timing of when he's allowed to make contact with the receivers. He's perfectly timed out, made sure Michael Haynes did not have an opportunity to lay out for that football. Good defensive play. He's made several today.
4th down and 7, and again, Wilmsmeyer checks in. McDuffie is back at his 10. Let's see how the Dolphins approach this. Wilmsmeyer gets it away without any problem. And here's McDuffie. Got a cut back. Good coverage by the Saints. 34-yard punt by Klaus Wilmsmeyer. Reminder coming up. After Miami and New Orleans, it'll be game 5 of the League Championship Series. Mariners and Indians in Cleveland, all tied at 2 apiece. Bob Costas, Bob Uecker on hand. That's game 5 coming up next right here on NBC. It'll be a 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line for the Dolphins.
Big Willie Rofe, who's had a pretty good battle going on all day today with Marco Coleman. But for Jim Mora, it's getting close. He can almost taste that first win and depressurize the situation and the pressure on him here in New Orleans.
Bernie Kosar throwing downfield, incomplete, intended for O.J. McDuffie. Tyrone Legette on the coverage.
And Jim Mora was telling me the other day that we're close. He said, I know you look, you're 0-5, and you think that we just don't have it as a football team. We're not going to be a factor. We're not any good defensively. All the numbers are against us. But I'm telling you, we're close. We're not that bad of a football team. And certainly with some of the gift wrap packages from the Miami Dolphins today, it's been a lot easier.
Well, next Sunday they play at Carolina, but then they have the 49ers at San Francisco before returning home for the Cardinals. That over the head of McDuffie. Brings up a 3rd and 10. And you see the discussion of obvious miscommunication between Bernie Kosar and O.J. McDuffie.
It has to be tough for Don Shula to look over his shoulder and see that guy standing there, the 2nd best quarterback in league history, and creating come-from-behind wins. Only John Elway better.
3rd and 10, 4:23 to go in the 4th quarter. 10-point lead for the Saints. Kosar bloops one, completing to McDuffie for the 1st down. Ernest Dixon makes the stop. And that can be categorized as a very typical Bernie Kosar pass play.
Just another one of those things that Bernie can do from time to time. Improvisation.
Or whatever.
Or something like that.
Right.
Do I have to spell it?
No, sorry.
Thank you.
First down. Kosar forced to scramble, taken down, and then try to whip it away. But he was down, I believe.
He tried to do one of those things again.
Richard Harvey pursuing Kosar and came up with New Orleans' second sack of the day.
The knee down before the throw out. So the sack.
First time they've gotten to Kosar. The other sack on Dan McGuire, who had come on when Kosar hurt his thumb. Second and 18 for the Dolphins. Kosar trying to step up, completing short of the first down to Gary Clark, who was met by Tyrone Leggett. Fourth catch for Clark. That's good for 14. It'll be a 3rd and 4.
And the Dolphins with all 3 of their timeouts remaining. 4 down territory, so 2 shots from here to pick up 3 yards.
And a direct snap handled by Kirby and has a first down.
Mark, this is a situation where you don't want to call timeout if you're the Miami Dolphins. The Saints are dragging. They're obviously tired. They're walking around, their hands on their hips. Take advantage of it offensively.
Time running down, 2:45 to go. Low snap, played by Kosar. Kosar in trouble, able to find Fryer though. Just short of the first down. Fryer taking the hit from Harvey. And we're down to 2.5 to go in this fourth quarter.
Well, these are like 2 heavyweight fighters in the 15th round, just throwing haymakers now. Yes. And Richmond Webb just came crawling up to the line of scrimmage. He's exhausted.
2nd and 1. Kosar throwing. Incomplete, but a flag is down. McDuffie took the pump. Tyrone Leggett on the coverage.
Pass interference. 43 defense. First down.
Leggett just tackling him before the ball got there. And those little Band-Aids on their noses aren't helping anybody right now. Everybody just completely gassed, but once again, the Dolphins moving it down the field. And now how much did that roughing the punter hurt this team? It cost them about 2 minutes worth of opportunity to move the ball. Since they've gone into this 4 wide receiver set, they've moved it at will.
First down at the New Orleans 16. Kosar on the run, throwing, and broken up. Leggett getting a hand on it. So Kosar now 28 for 40, 352 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he was picked off twice. That pass intended for Gary Clark in the end zone.
And Bernie Kosar had some room to run with his football. I thought he was just going to take off. Man coverage down the field. He may have at least gotten it down inside the 5-yard line, and Gary Clark not doing a very good job there. He needs to come back to that football. He gave the defense a chance to catch up.
2nd down and 10. Clark to the left, Fryer to the right. The running back is Kirby. Diving catch. O.J. McDuffie, and now it's ruled incomplete. The ruling that he scooped it up. As we come up on 2 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter, here's another look at it. Well, he had it, could not hold on. We'll be right back.
Liberty Mutual presents Legends of the Game. He provided a measure of menace and a double dose of muscle for Dallas's doomsday defense. In Super Bowl V, he became the game's first defensive MVP. Who was this legend? Power and passion. And when the 6-time All-Pro retired, Coach Tom Landry said, "I don't know that I've ever seen anybody better at linebacker. A true legend of the game."
Watch this exchange on the sideline. Dan Marino calling Bernie Kosar over and saying, right here, throw it to Gary Clark. Keep an eye on Clark here. He's at the bottom of your screen.
3rd and 10 at the 16. Kosar throwing for the end zone. Touchdown. Well, Clark was covered. He went the other way for Kirby. A 16-yard touchdown pass play, and the Dolphins are very much alive with 1:54 remaining in this fourth quarter.
No question about it. All 3 timeouts remaining. They even have the opportunity to kick it deep and call the timeouts. I'm sure Dan's going to take credit for this one when it comes back on Monday. He said, I told you to throw it to Kirby on that other sideline. Actually, on the other side of the field, though, Gary Clark was open.
10 plays, 77 yards, and 2:33. Stoyanovich puts it through. So the Saints 33, the Dolphins 30. I don't know, Chris, was that a decoy play on the part of Dan Marino? But you say that Clark was open.
He was open down at the bottom of the screen. They had the inside coverage, inside technique by his man just right down here. You're going to see the corner jumping inside, and Clark's going to be open running the out route. So Dan Marino knew what he was talking about as well. Take a touchdown on either side of the field. Now the question becomes, do you onside kick this ball with all 3 timeouts remaining and needing a field goal? I don't think that you do. I think you're going to see the Dolphins kick it deep and try and stop them on 3 plays and get the football back.
10 plays, 77 yards on that last drive. So the Saints with a 33-30 lead on the Dolphins. The ever-dangerous Tyrone Hughes drops back for the kickoff from Pete Stoyanovich.
The hands team deployed, and it looks like an onside kick for the Dolphins. And they're going to go back the other way with it. I think they're just going to kick it deep.
What Stoyanovich does. Hughes lets it bounce in, and they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line with 1:54 remaining in this fourth quarter. Miami does have its 3 timeouts remaining.
No question about it. Now 1 first down wins it for the New Orleans Saints. If they can get 1 first down, Jim Mora can walk out of this building for a change in a good mood. And for the Miami Dolphins, no choice. You run these 3 plays. You have to take the quick timeouts.
All right, the Saints to the line, led by the former Dolphin, their center, Jeff Ulanay. 1st and 10 from the 20 for Jim Everett. Eric Brown, short pickup. Immediate timeout taken by Miami. To New Orleans, Marv Albert, Chris Collinsworth, 1:49 left in the fourth. Saints with a 33-30 lead on the Dolphins. New Orleans going for its first win of the season, 0-5 coming in. Miami at 4-1. They come off the overtime loss to the Colts, a game that they led 24-3 at one point. Looking ahead, the Dolphins next Sunday play the Jets at the New Jersey Meadowlands.
Marv, I'm thinking some kind of screen pass, something like that. You can't give the Dolphins the ball back with 1.5 minutes to go and needing just a field goal.
2nd and 9. Everett to the sideline and has his first down. Wesley Walls has been a very dependable receiver. That's good for 17 yards. The tight end Walls with his 4th catch of the day.
Just a great call that time by Carl Smith, the offensive coordinator. He had it right on the money. And you could tell by the look on Jim Mora's face after that first down call that he was not happy. He knew he couldn't afford to just go 3 and out here. Open it up, take your shots. Great clutch throw in there by Jim Everett. Now very difficult. 1 timeout remaining. I don't think, to sort of back time my brain, but I don't think that the Dolphins can get the football back.
Everett is now 20 for 31, 241 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He has thrown 13 touchdowns on the season.
Actually, I think because of the 1 timeout, they may be in a position to get it with just seconds remaining in this game.
motion. And the play is blown dead. Referee Johnny Greer.
False start, number 82, offense.
And that's the tight end, Irv Smith. Resetting the clock to a minute and 38 to go.
Boy, when you're 0-5, it just is never easy. These guys have played well, though. They've picked up the pace offensively and defensively. They've made more plays today probably than they've made during the rest of the season.
Saints now looking at a 1st and 15 from their 35-yard line. And Marino sitting it out today with a knee problem, recovering from the arthroscopic surgery, sore left hip. Kirby able to score that last touchdown, but earlier in the game, a couple of fumbles that hurt. Again, early in motion. And to the ground for Eric Brown. And a quick timeout taken by Miami. Hold on to beat the Dolphins here at home with a minute 34 remaining. They have a 3-point lead, a 2nd down and 12 from their 38-yard line. Neal and Brown in the backfield. And early in motion. Brown following his blocker. It's up to the 40-yard line, met by Brian Cox. The clock is running now. Miami out of timeouts.
And when the play ended there and the 40-second clock went back, there was a minute 30, so there will be a 10-second differential. If the Saints can sort of scramble around here on this play and kill off about 10 seconds, then they could actually run it off. So you may see Jim Everett toss it to a back on a sweep or something. Just tell him kill a little clock. They certainly don't want to punt the football back or take a chance on the rushing the punter and getting a block kick.
It's a 3rd down and 9. Well, the handoff to Brown. Again, Derek Brown with a couple. Down to 40 seconds.
So there's going to be about a 5-second differential here. And you laugh, but I was in a ball game like this one time. We had the ball and the lead against the San Francisco 49ers. And there ended up being 6 seconds to go on the clock. We had the ball 4th down. Sam White's called a sweep play. Came right back. Did not make it. Stopped immediately. Jerry Rice caught the game-winning touchdown pass on the next play.
Well, the crowd cheering the New Orleans Saints with time running down. And the clock is stopped with 3 seconds remaining. Let's see if they make an adjustment here.
Yeah, and I don't think you punt the football here. With 3 seconds, you take the ball and you just run around a little bit. You don't want to send your punt team out on the field. That was Sam Weich's theory back in the game in which I played. I mean, you can literally, the other option is you can take a safety. You can run around a little bit. You can run back in the end zone for all that matters. Just do a foot race. All you have to do is run off 3 seconds. You just don't want to put yourself in a position where they're going to do whatever. So, I mean, Jim Everett can literally stand up and fire it out of the back of the end zone if he wants to.
And apparently 3 seconds are left.
Yeah, probably the best play here is just go maximum protection, let Jim Everett drop back until he sees the clock run out.
And the Saints have taken a timeout. Crowd here of 64,000, some 6,000 short of a sellout, celebrating what they feel is a Saints victory. And it appears to be safe to say it will be a Saints victory. Baseball coming up next. Mariners and Indians tied in their series at 2 apiece. Game 5 from Jacobs Field in Cleveland, following Miami and New Orleans right here on NBC.
And Terry Kirby hoping things goes better for his brother tonight, Wayne Kirby, who plays for the Indians, than what they've gone for him thus far in this one. They are going to punt this football. To me, that's a shock. Now, here comes the offense. This is the call. You just take Jim Everett, you bring out maximum protection, put everybody on the line of scrimmage, let him drop back, watch the clock tick down, and take a knee. Of course, if you get sacked or it doesn't work, all of a sudden change of possession, you run the field goal team out there. So there's some risk involved here now, too.
A lot of shuffling. First, Wilmsmeyer, the punter, came on, and then Everett and his group came on. Everett out of a shotgun. 3 seconds left. 3-point lead for the Saints. And Everett just puts it in the air, looking to overthrow the secondary as time runs out, and the Saints have won their first game of the season. 33-30, the final. We'll be back to wrap it up right after these words. 4 touchdowns thrown by Jim Everett of the Saints. 5 turnovers committed by Miami. Saints win their first of the year, beating the Dolphins 33-30. Baseball is next. Marv Albert, Chris Collinsworth saying so long from New Orleans.